have yet to lose a game here, but they face a very tough opponent, this UMass Lowell team, ranked number 18 in the country coming into the season. They've had a little bit of a tough stretch in the middle portion of their schedule, but they're starting to turn things around as they look towards the America East tournament coming up in a few weeks.
Well, the Bears are coming off a 1-0 overtime, double overtime loss to Cornell that all but eliminated the Bears' chances at postseason play. Mike, for the Bears, they'll have to take the pitch tonight without their captain, James Mile, who was red-carded in that loss to Cornell. And more importantly, this is a team that's found a way to win just twice since starting the year 4-0. There was so much promise. You wonder where the mental toughness of this team is right now.
Yeah, certainly, you know, they've had a couple of setbacks. You mentioned they'll be without Mile tonight. That is a huge blow to the midfield,
huge.
as he is, you know, one of the key forces in that midfield for head coach Pat Laughlin. So be interesting to see how they react to that tonight. I know Carson Athley getting a start once again, the freshman from Maine, so we'll see how he fits into that. But definitely a tough game and a hard one to break this three-game unvictorious streak, I should say.
There's a draw against Harvard in there as well, a 1-0 victory for the Bears in this stretch as well, and over Princeton, and the 2-1 loss in overtime to Providence College. The Bears in general are sub-checking in for the Riverhawks as Guy Rodriguez, the senior, the hometown product from Lowell, Massachusetts, will check in.
Comes in with a goal and 3 assists on the season. One of the team's captains this year.
Has appeared in every game this season. This is the 14th match of the year for the Riverhawks. We have a big match looming with a nationally ranked foe within the league, UNH, this weekend.
And I get the total sense that that is what head coach Figueroa is, or how he's strategized for this game. They do not look to be at full strength in terms of who they've got out on the pitch and also their tactics today.
Hayward, the touch to center. Well, and you're 7-5-1, you're 3-2 in the America East, and the way New England has shaped up, or the region has shaped up, Mike. You got to figure you're a league where you got to win the league now. I mean, if a second team is getting in from from the America East as Hagstrom and Mulo collide, if a second team is getting in, it's UNH by not winning the league. So
right.
UMass Lowell needs to be at full strength as Mulo is.
Yeah, it was two big guys just kind of bumping into each other that time, and Mulo shaking up a little bit. Hagstrom comes over to give him the obligatory pat on the back, but
yeah, I don't think there was any
no,
maliciousness.
It was just 50-50 challenge, and they both kind of ran into each other there.
And part of
earlier too, and you know, why not? That's part of the game.
Part of being a striker.
At least plant that seed in the official's mind for later on as well.
As a defender, it used to drive me crazy.
Oh, me too.
Well,
Bears not happy with that last call, but
no. Well, we're inside 5 in what has been a very pedestrian first half.
Like I said, I don't think we were getting the full look at what UMass Lowell can be. And, you know, and they have had their struggles on the road, though, Mike. They're perfect at home at 5-0-1, but when it comes to the road, 2-5 are the Riverhawks this season. Some of the eye-openers, you know, they lost at Dartmouth. They got whooped at Akron, 5-0 there, but losses on the road at Albany, at Vermont.
And at Northeastern in double overtime. And again, this is a team that didn't really have to worry about bouncing back. They only lost a single game last year, and that was to UNH. But they've put together another fine campaign here as Zingis touches back, and Welp up and over was looking for Plano off the flank, and it'll be a Brown throw-in. Riverhawks getting ready to take Federico Farah back into the match, the 5'7" senior out of Waltham, Massachusetts. Out ahead it comes for Zingis, who tries to cut back on Fitzgerald. They tangle.
Yeah, Fitzgerald grabbed him down.
Yeah.
And since it is UMass Lowell throw-in, it'll give him a chance to...
Mass. Touches back for Martinez. He surveys, squares it off, middle of the pitch for Kellett. Looks to switch fields. Goebel steps up, heads it to no one as Waith is on it for the Riverhawks. He'll go all the way back for Blaskic. I actually think Reichenberg is actually off as well.
Yep. A little bit of a surprise is
played pretty well, I thought, in the first half.
Yeah, and I mean he's started and played in 12 of their games. 13 if you count today.
Vrablik on his horse. It'll come back across for Martinez. Looks around, squares it to center for Basic. And then off to the flank again. Nice push ahead. Kellett making a run on the ball, turns, and that's out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick coming out. 5.5 gone here. The Riverhawks with, really, I would say about 2/3 to 3/4 of the possession. The early goings of half number 2, trailing by a goal, and we'll see how many more offensive chances they take. It seems like their formation's got a little bit more pace here in half number 2, certainly, as you've indicated.
Oh, yeah, they've picked up the intensity and aggression out there, certainly playing with more speed, a little bit more deliberate in terms of the faster pace.
Here's Miller again, working off the flank. A good touch to center for Jovanowski. Comes back to Miller, off of O'Brien. He'll touch back Martinez, pressured by He'll touch back Martinez, pressured by Vrablik. He'll continue to work one-on-one. Down a little bit. We'll touch back for Blaskic again. The 6'4 sophomore, also out of Zagreb, as they've obviously cornered the market on Zagreb, Croatia, have the Riverhawks. I've never been.
Yeah, me neither.
Near side flank. That's Jovanowski, also from where else? Set up field by Persa, also from Croatia, but he's from Sisac, Croatia. Not familiar where that is. In the feeling breeze that's coming right to left across the field.
It's also kind of coming from the back line, though, too.
Yeah.
So, again, the wind here swirls in mysterious ways as English puts the hand up and delivers.
And that one's on a line, curled right out toward the 18. Chasing it down comes Abramovich, and it's out of bounds. Bears will throw it in again. Looks like English will take it for Vrablik. Settles. Gets a touch back for English. English working toward the top. Goes back for Goebel. Goebel with both time and space takes it to his left. Working to the far flank. Top of your screen. Looking to curl back toward the end line. Nice touch ahead for English. And taken away by the Riverhawks. And they turn it over. Lozada looking in front. It was behind Vrablik and an oncoming Mims. But Lozada, Mike, he had a lot of time.
Certainly did, and had a golden opportunity. Vrablik in perfect position right in the middle of the 6 there. Would have had a lot of different placements where he could have put that ball, but passed just a little bit off the mark, and an opportunity goes by the wayside.
Blaskic back from Martinez, and now out to Waith on the flank. Moves it ahead, and here come the Riverhawks. That's Rodriguez, who came off the bench late in the first half, remains on the pitch for UMass Lowell. One of 4 UMass campuses, well, technically 5. There's UMass Amherst, which is typically referred to just as UMass. Then there's UMass Lowell, UMass Dartmouth, and UMass Boston, as well as UMass Stockbridge, which is an agricultural school.
Learned something new.
Well, there you go, folks. A windy night here in southern New England as the Brown Bears play host to the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. Stevenson Pinson's Field here on the east side of Providence. And hello, everyone. We welcome you inside the press box, where we're happy to be, as it's going to be a wet and windy one here in southern New England. Alongside Mike Mancuso, I'm Mike Rubin. Mike, the Bears are suddenly in a little bit of a rut. You get some non-league games late in the season. You sometimes wonder how they're gonna play out. Sometimes they're traps. This is an opportunity, Mike, for the Bears to hit the reset button against one of the America East bests.
Absolutely. And if one thing we know about the Bears this season is they love playing here at Stevenson since they are 4-0-1 on the season. So have yet to lose a game here, but they face a very tough opponent, this UMass Lowell team, ranked number 18 in the country coming into the season. They've had a little bit of a tough stretch in the middle portion of their schedule, but they're starting to turn things around as they look towards the America East tournament coming up in a few weeks.
Well, the Bears are coming off a 1-0 overtime, double overtime loss to Cornell that all but eliminated the Bears' chances at postseason play. Mike, for the Bears, they'll have to take the pitch tonight without their captain, James Mile, who was red-carded in that loss to Cornell. And more importantly, this is a team that's found a way to win just twice since starting the year 4-0. There was so much promise. You wonder where the mental toughness of this team is right now.
Yeah, certainly, you know, they've had a couple of setbacks. You mentioned they'll be without Mile tonight. That is a huge blow to the midfield as he is, you know, one of the key forces in that midfield for head coach Pat Laughlin. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to that tonight. I know Carson Athley getting a start once again, the freshman from Maine, so we'll see how he fits into that. But definitely a tough game and a hard one to break this three-game unvictorious streak, I should say.
There's a draw against Harvard in there as well, a 1-0 victory for the Bears in this stretch as well, and over Princeton, and the 2-1 loss in overtime to Providence College. The Bears in general are just really seem to be in a bit of a rut, and one of the things that I think head coach Pat Laughlin is trying to reorganize with the Bears, Mike, is this sense of the process, and I think that's been really where you want to create some moments as you enter this final third of the season, because let's face it, 5-6 wins, the Bears are having themselves quite a season.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get into double-digit wins, and that's somewhere you always want to finish. Unfortunately, you know, their league schedule or their league results will probably prevent them from any kind of postseason play, but certainly want to finish out the season strong. I know this game they definitely would have circled on the calendar heading into the season, as this was one of the best teams last year, but because they were still transitioning into Division I, they were not allowed to participate in either the America East tournament or the NCAA tournament. I mean, this team was 13-1-2 last year. They were absolutely outstanding. And unfortunately for the Bears, they're without Julito Fernandez, who graduated last year. He had 11 goals, 5 assists. And we'll get to the starting lineups in a little bit. Some interesting maneuvers by each coach here tonight.
Yeah, definitely one of those looks that, you know, ultimately I think, Mike, that the Bears really need to, I think, start looking at, you know, where are they going to get some experience? That's what you like from some of these non-league games as you get down the stretch. And I think one of the things that head coach Laughlin is going to be looking for as he you know, has some different guys, has some guys that are, you know, we haven't seen before, guys playing different positions. You hope that overall they get everything in order. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with the first half call, starting lineups when we come back.
Behind the champion are the committed. Here's to them, to those sometimes taken for granted. Because the lines have to be painted, the uniforms need to be cleaned, and the lights must come on. Because at the first pitch, or play from scrimmage, all that matters